This week's Angel Chat comes from Deborah, and Deborah lives in Middletown, New York. And she said, "Hi, Julie. My husband, Sean, has a melanoma on his foot that was cut out last April, and he's currently on a monthly immunology IV. He now has 2 groin lymph nodes on his right side that have to be biopsied for melanoma. Please help if you can. Thank you, Deborah." So, Deborah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect from me here in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm going to connect to you up in New York, and from you to Sean, your husband. And then I'm going to ask his permission if I can scan him. If he says yes, I will. If he says no, I won't, because it's an ethical thing with me. It's an invasion of privacy in my book if somebody doesn't want to be scanned. All is not lost, however, because if he doesn't want me to scan him, we can still talk to his spirit. And I don't have a problem doing that because I figure the spirit's going to tell us what it wants us to know, but it's not like we're looking at an X-ray without his permission. That would be a HIPAA violation. And although I'm not a medical provider, I still operate under those ethics. So here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading up to you in New York. All right, got you. From you to Sean. Sean, I'm talking to Deborah, and she wants me to scan you energetically. Would that be okay? He's saying yes. So, all right. What I'm doing is I'm shooting energy from his feet up through the top of his head. I'm watching this in my mind's eye. I'm a girl, so I can multitask. It's one of our superpowers. We females, we can multitask. And so what I'm watching is I'm watching a lymph cleanse that's starting first. Imagine there's a tube that's in front of him in the front part of his body, and all the lymph fluid is going into that tube. It reminds me of those tubes that you see at the drive-through at the bank where you put the little device in there and then it sucks it into the bank, through the pneumatic tube. That's kind of what this looks like. Lymph fluid is a light amber colored, and it has the consistency of lava lamp fluid. It's kind of globby. So I'm watching that spin. There's a hole that's opened on the bottom of each of Sean's feet, and any kind of impurities are going out the bottom of his feet. So what we're doing is, in essence, we're doing a reverse osmosis procedure on his lymph fluid, similar to if you get a bottle of water and it says reverse osmosis purified and microfiltered, or doing the same thing with his lymph fluid. And then any cells that don't need to be there, whether they be cancer cells or whatever, those are gonna get removed out of the bottom of his feet. Okay, that's done. Feet are plugged back up. Now what I'm doing is I'm doing a DNA healing. When I say it's spirit working through me and with me. It's just easier to understand if I say I, because when I say we, people are looking for who's the other we, and it's spirit, so you can't see it. So, all right, DNA healing. 7 strands of DNA have come out of X chromosome in his body. Girls have 2 X's, boys have an X and a Y. DNA strands look to me like pieces of paper you'd see inside a fortune cookie with a fortune written on it. It's comprised of 4 nucleic acids. They're represented by 4 letters, A, T, C, G. One strand of DNA can have 100,000 letters on it, can have 1 billion letters. I'm watching those letters get resequenced. In essence, what I'm watching happen in this healing is I'm watching the mutation in the DNA, which is the recipe that tells the cells how to behave. I'm watching that get restored back to a normal recipe. So I'm watching that. When a strand is reconfigured, it snaps back into the X chromosome. 3 have snapped in. We've got 4 more to go. The reason why I'm so descriptive about all of this is because if you can have an idea of what I'm doing or a visual of what I'm doing, it's going to help integrate the healing into the body. So, Deborah, you're my helper. Hopefully you can get Sean to watch this and he can visualize what I'm talking about in this healing. Okay, I got 2 more strands to go. And then we'll be done with that. And then I'm going to do a heavy metal detox on him here in a second. Okay, 2 strands are back in, X chromosomes back in his body. The Heavy Metal Detox, what I'm watching is two big U-shaped magnets that are joined around Sean. They're connected in the middle, and they're going up and down his body. They're pulling out metallic particulates, turn a quarter of a turn up and down his body. So the U's are in front and behind him now. Now the quarter of a turn on either side of him, pulling out heavy metals. One more turn on either side, in front and behind him now. And then they pop off. All right, irrigating out any dust that's not there. So hopefully that's going to help in the short run. Consider scheduling an appointment with me so we can have an hour and we can do a really deep dive and reverse engineer this and find out what's causing this situation for him. But the good news is he's not dying at the moment. His spirit's very much in his body, or otherwise I wouldn't have been able to do the healing on him. So I hope that helps. Please keep me posted. Consider scheduling an hour appointment, and then we'll be able to really figure out what's going on. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to follow Julie on Instagram and YouTube at Ask Julie Ryan, and like her on Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. To schedule an appointment or submit a question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.
This show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be medical, psychological, financial, or legal advice. Please contact a licensed professional. The Ask Julie Ryan Show, Julie Ryan and all parties involved in producing, recording, and distributing it assume no responsibility for listeners' actions based on any information heard on this or any Ask Julie Ryan shows or podcasts.